Mirror's Edge has you playing as Faith, a convicted felon. After serving 20 plus years, she's ready to turn over a new leaf. Maybe she isn't, considering her first action out of prison is to talk to a hooded figure in an alleyway. Said figure gives me VR goggles, and together we run, jump, and assault any authority figures we find. We split up, and I'll have to be careful since it's a long way down. Speaking from experience. I threw these guards like they were newborn babies, but was outmatched by this Power Rangers villain. I don't know what hurts worse, my tailbone or my ego. I met up with Noah, who looks 50 but dresses like he's half that. He gave me my next assignment, which was to meet Birdman.
You serious?
He was. He had me look for a rat woman, and after I couldn't find her, met with a Machine Gun Kelly fan. He gave me his grocery list, which I ignored in favor of discovering a new enemy. His ability? Looking fly. MGK wanted me to leave his produce here in this peaceful area, but why do that when you invite through an entire SWAT team just to put it in a less convenient place? I went back to the Bat Cave, which isn't a cave, nor does it have bats. Just Mr. No Drip and Mr. Trying Too Hard to Look Cool playing Connect 4. Getting out of prison hadn't been free for Faith. I'm not talking about the PTSD of showers. I'm talking about her now being in crippling debt. How immersive. Noah had planned a GTA-style heist to help me with my predicament. I stuck in the lab, where I borrowed this phone, hoping to play some Angry Birds. Instead, I had half the French army attacking me. That's a relief. I almost thought I was in trouble. Icarus said, "Good idea. There's never a bad time for some coke." Apparently there is. At the lair, Noah was upset, and Icarus didn't get the validation Daddy never gave him. Congratulations are in order. Especially to Machine Gun Kelly for being a bad influence. Speaking of, one time my car was making this terrible noise, so I took it to the mechanic. It wasn't the engine, and the brakes were all good. Nothing got rid of that sound until I removed the Machine Gun Kelly CD. Did I tell you this story just to cover up me getting lost for 30 minutes? Of course not. MGK was reenacting the opening of Subway Surfers, and I was riding one of those lifts that window washers use. Anyone who says they've seen one in the past 5 years is lying. I broke into this random guy's apartment, and he got upset after I stole his vape. These addicts are out of control. Luckily, he enjoyed ziplining from his balcony on his days off. I proceeded to chase this drone to the 13 colonies. As a kid, I could never fly drones. I guess some things never change. The phone I stole like 60 seconds ago was password protected. It wasn't 1234 or 0000, meaning there's only one person who could help us.
Name is Plastic.
After last time, I'm expecting them to look like Kim Kardashian's boobs. Most people have doorbells, but Plastic had a gun-mounted security camera. Almost as deadly as a pit bull to a child under the age of 4. To cut a long story short, Plastic sucked at the job we weren't paying her for, forcing me to trespass and commit assault with a deadly weapon. Said weapon being me. You want to be jacked like Faith Connors? Use the workout plan in my bio. Price is starting at $30 a workout. For that much money, you could buy a magic marker to draw on muscles. Once small security was dealt with, I explored a life-size gaming PC and then explored this building, which had these box placed at just the right distance to be parkourable, but not a front door. As I was leaving, some Arabs came into town. My thoughts and prayers to everyone affected. I'm not talking about the hundreds of people killed. I'm talking about me, who had to spend time with Plastic. She had me collect some red blood cells, and then I managed to get lost. Again, I can't tell if this is Mirror's Edge or a Roblox horror game. Thank God this game doesn't have an IQ requirement, else I might be forced to get into drama on Twitter to try and stay relevant. Speaking of, Twitter link in the description. No one wanted me to continue clearing my debt. All work, no play. When are we going to do something fun, like throwing flashbangs in a room full of epileptic kids? All this talk about debt, I'm surprised the US military hasn't made an appearance. I met with this Asian guy, which is who I owed money to. The other day, I was getting Chinese food and asked for orange Gatorade. The Japanese guy behind the counter gave me yellow. I'd make a super original joke about nuking Japan, but I secretly wanted yellow. Earth-shattering stuff, but not as earth-shattering as the 6th and 9th day of August in 1945. Middle-aged Chinese guy had me doing cool pranks like pulling the fire alarm, just like middle school, and dropping massive dreidels on buildings, just like high school. If being a fugitive doesn't work out, Faith had other career options. Don't be so perverted, I was talking about being a firefighter. Or an OnlyFans model, the only requirement is the X chromosome, and to be below 300 pounds. Speaking of chromosomes, Icarus had used all 50 of his to get lost inside of a grocery store. He may be a douchebag, annoying, and insecure, but he's still a friend. Just not mine. Plastic had DoorDash some Wingstop, but the delivery person had gotten lost. For all the money you pay, I expect the president to land Air Force One outside your house and hand deliver the food. I made a case for more guard railings and found the delivery woman. I guess instead of turning right in 200 meters, they turned right into a little bitch. Batman from Wish had lost two of its pets and needed me to find them. I guess Pet Supplies Plus stopped existing the same time Fashion did. I almost worked there, but they were paying minimum wage. If I'm doing all that work, there better be a dinosaur included in my paycheck. One of the cool ones, like an Ankylosaurus. Not some lame egg thief. Looking at you, Oviraptor. Speaking of past jobs, when I was a waiter, a customer told me to get my manager so they could get me fired. So I asked them to get their mom so I could bang her again. Hashtag worth it. I found Icarus locked in this box. Once I took an entire photo album, I looked for a way to free him. I didn't plan on helping him, but I was already here. Like when you don't want to respond to someone on Snapchat, but you already started typing. You know, if he stopped shopping at Forever 21 and didn't speak ever, Icarus wouldn't be such a bad character. I turned off the electricity, meaning the entire neighborhood wouldn't have water, heat, and even worse, couldn't watch Ryan Gosling movies. Really makes you wonder who the bad guys are. Probably Noah for not inviting us to the sick party he was throwing. I started heading back to the lair, which is such a stupid name. The Batcave, for example. It's on the nose, sure, but it's ominous. You wouldn't trespass on the Batcave. But the lair? Who named it? Dr. Doofenshmirtz? At the lair, I found nothing except dust mites and this guy, who wakes up every morning with the intention to be as cinematic as possible. I made sure he wouldn't wake up again, and to fill you guys in, Noah's MIA, leaving Icarus as my only companion. We needed a new hideout since our old base was filled with red solo cups and women's undergarments. If they're Icarus's or Noah's, I can't tell. Thank the Lord we upgraded from our penthouse to the sewers. My vitamin D levels are going to drop quicker than these guards. Our next job involved abducting a high ranking government official. A great problem solver. One time I was failing a class in the school, so I abducted my teacher and forced him to give me an A. He grew up to be Derek Morgan. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. I spent 2 days trying to describe what happens next in a way that'll make you say, wow, this guy is so witty and funny. To keep it short and sweet, the a bit older than a kidnapping was a success. I met the abductee. Moon Knight is the only person, or persons, to pull off an all-white fit, and she's definitely not him. I went topside and visited our old HQ. There, I got so many holes in me, people confused me for SpongeBob.
They might have beefed up security somewhere around the antennas.
Thank God he's here. I racked up a body count that would make Lana Rhodes jealous and fisted this vacuum cleaner. Which gets me in more trouble than the abduction. You take a VIP as a hostage, no one bats an eye, but heaven forbid you have some fun with home appliances. Back underground, I accidentally talked to Rebecca who made me scale this skyscraper. I guess I couldn't afford elevators, not with all the budget going towards making the most eye-straining atmosphere possible. At the top, I stuck a hard drive containing 7 terabytes of Overwatch porn in this 5G tower. Once our charity work was finished, Isabella said to me, "No balls, you won't sneak into the Pentagon." She's right, I wouldn't. I would ride in on a helicopter while blasting Poker Face by Lady Gaga. I wouldn't get caught, and this is probably a regular occurrence. Imagine your first day at a new job, some lunatic lands on the roof blasting 2009's greatest hits. Look over to your coworker and he says, Mondays, am I right? While I was here, I decided to stop in the server room and delete my browsing history. It's not enough to use incognito, I need to visually see Door Rule 34 be erased from my searches. I went to leave, but I missed my train. This is just like when you miss a bus for school, so you go set off fireworks next to the retirement home. I hopped on this train and let's hope it doesn't hit any speed bumps or Faith is going to be in the stratosphere. I hadn't planned on saving him, but now I don't have much of a choice. Like when you see someone failing their bench press. You could turn a blind eye, but enjoying that post-workout protein shake will be a lot harder with a guilty conscience. Since I'm cleaning up my digital footprint, I broke into Microsoft and deleted all the times I said a racial slur. I had to make multiple stops. I started on my way to save Noah, only stopping to tell Icarus he couldn't go. If you look closely, you can see his hopes and dreams die. It's just like that episode of SpongeBob. The deeper I went, the more spacious it got. No time for that's what she said jokes. I'm too busy causing prison riots and watching Noah die. Thank God I came all the way down here just for him to be a pussy. I grieved. Is it grove? I pass sense of grief by fighting what I assume is a paraplegic security team. I elevate back underground and successfully create the most awkward hug. I collected the perk 30s and go to this fun house. Inside there are cool things like Kyle Rittenhouse and a slide that was almost as dangerous as calling a Puerto Rican Mexican. A perfect place for a day of fun with the kids. It's been a long video, so I decided to unwind by going to my local art museum. This place was supposed to have the best art in the world, yet after searching the entire place, I found no hand-traced turkeys. Interesting. Once I created my own splatter portrait, I broke into the president's penthouse and stole his feed pictures and cock account. For the record, that's Clash of Clans, not a porn website. I proceeded to take a train to Avengers Tower. You'd think with the job title runner, Faith wouldn't be so fat that she can't walk on glass. Inside the tower, I found the entire city's police department. What were they guarding? A door that doesn't open. There's probably something valuable inside, like money, or juicy fruit gum that doesn't lose flavor in 12 seconds. All confidence I gained from that fight was lost in the next. While Kruger's base is getting raided by giants and archers, I'm getting violated by Halo Spartans. After I upload the pictures, I get a tattoo and then get pumped up for the sequel that'll drop the same time your wait does.